I am at Audubon Country Club in Joliet, Illinois. In the last video, I said that that car is no longer going to be a track car, but of course I'm going back on that statement, taking it to a track day. But I figure this will be the ultimate test of the reliability of the platform and of my work. So I'm not too worried. The biggest thing I'm worried about is heat. It's a high of 97 degrees, which is not ideal. So I just have to make sure my cooling system is okay and probably do a couple of cool down laps. But this is my second ever point by track day, so we'll see how it goes. Let's do it. Getting really pushy, a lot more understeer, as you'd expect with a giant engine over the front wheels. I have a battery light on. I don't know if maybe I shredded my serpentine belt. Not good though. Got a black flag. Not personally, the whole group got a black flag. Somebody went off, but looks like that's probably good for me because my temps were getting a little high up there, it looks like. So yeah, I have to focus more on those temperatures with it being 95 degrees today. It's a hot running engine. I'm not used to having to like pay attention to that, especially with like autocrosses are very short runs. This is we got 25-minute sessions, but car's still running. I survived, had a lot of fun. Okay, so I unfortunately shredded my serpentine belt. Apparently that's a common problem with the 4.2s, but I was able to go to Advanced Auto Parts and get a close match to the serpentine belt, so I think it'll be all right. I bought two, so just in case it doesn't, just in case it shreds again, I got two. I have 2 more sessions left in the day, and I should be able to make both, assuming I don't shred another timing belt. But I think I'm gonna stick with not going into redline as much. That should help, but we'll see. All right, serpentine belt is fixed for now. I'm gonna go back out, see if I can make it another full session. If I can make it through this one without tearing through a serpentine belt, then I will do 2 sessions. If I have to fix it again, this is my last session. Other than the serpentine belt stuff, I'd say it's been good. The trans is really good. Solid, shifts like butter, as the 0A3 should. And I did see my coolant temps kind of creeping up a little bit towards the end of my most recent session. So I got to watch that on this one. It is very, very, very hot today. I don't know how you guys in Florida do this. It's 95 degrees Fahrenheit here in Illinois, and I'm dying. Battery light came back on, main serpentine belt came back off. Well, that sucked. I guess taking my freshly reassembled box of unreliability to a nearly 4-mile racetrack wasn't the greatest idea, but it did make for a good shakedown run for me to figure out the weak points of the car, namely the serpentine belt. And to shed more light on that, I was using the JHM auto tensioner upgrade, and why it was throwing belts, I really don't know. It's possible that when installing that, you need to clearance part of the core support for it to move, and I need to do more of that. Or it's possible that there was a problem with the bearing. Either way, JHM sent me a new one and made right by me. It was a super easy process, so no problem there. I can replace it if I don't just go with the stock setup again. What's worse is I have developed an oil leak, which is really frustrating because I have just resealed everything in that engine. But I think the reasoning for this is among all of the other things that I did to this engine, I kind of forgot to replace the PCV. I had purchased one, I had one in the garage, just never replaced it, kind of forgot. And if the PCV was bad, it could have overpressurized the crankcase and made oil want to make its way out of the engine. That combined with my exposed headers, creating too much heat in the engine bay, could have made for a leak. I think it's coming from the valve cover. I got to double check that. And I also clearly need to heat wrap my headers like I mentioned in the last video. So that means the engine's coming out, and that sucks. But I won't bore you with more engine removal footage. You've seen plenty of that, so I'll just jump ahead. With the engine out once again, I'm going straight to removing, cleaning, and heat wrapping the headers. I'm personally not a big fan of the effects heat wrap has on exhaust piping, mainly rust and fluid collection. I had an oil leak on my B8 last summer that made its way onto the heat wrap on my downpipe, and that stunk for months. But if it'll keep the heat away from the engine, I will take it. Unfortunately, it's a little tough to wrap at the very top, but I'm doing what I can. After some more inspection, it does appear that the leak is probably coming from the valve cover. A likely suspect on these engines, but still quite annoying considering it has a new gasket, new bolts, and everything torqued to spec. But the old PCV and excess heat, maybe that was it.
I think it's leaking a little.
So I'm removing the gasket again and doing something that not everybody recommends, including myself. I'm adding some RTV under the gasket. Maybe it'll work. It seems like some other people online have had luck with that, but we will see. Also, I found 2 ripped CV boots and a bunch of PAG oil under the engine, which means there's an air conditioning leak. And that makes sense. I had one very comfortable week with AC, and then that ended. So I'm gonna fix those off camera. I'm also using this time as an opportunity to remove the SAI pump and the auxiliary oil cooler. This is a common modification that even the highest horsepower B6S4s have had done, so I'm confident that it's not going to cause issues with my oil temperatures. And it's apparently shown to actually reduce intake temperatures. Plus, it frees up some much needed real estate in that cramped engine bay and allows for a cold air intake. All right, with those all fixed, the engine back in, and my patience tested, hopefully, it's at least better than when it started. The oil leaks are fixed, the headers are wrapped, and the tensioner issue has been resolved. So what is the best way to test all this? How about another track day at Autobahn? Now we're back at Autobahn doing the same thing again, basically to see if things are fixed or not. I have done 2 sessions so far, and the biggest problem I'm running into now is cooling, but I had that problem the last time, and I didn't even do a full session. I was having problems with my heat, with my temperature, so I think, I don't know, a new radiator might be in my future. This car is 20 years old, probably the stock radiator, so it wouldn't be surprising if I needed to replace that. I'm not sure if there are upgraded radiators for this car, but that would be, I think, something worth getting as well, and maybe a more powerful fan. And also, if I could get a fan that's like switched, that would be nice. So we'll see. So I might have to do quite a few cool down laps. I did last session, but today's not about setting the world record and winning the track day. It's just here to enjoy that the car is running and just learn more. So. I think I can confidently say at this point that getting an old Audi, especially one with one of the more notorious engines, is always a gamble. And between the condition I got this thing in and my spectacular workmanship, I'm always going to be chasing my tail with it. There are a lot of moving pieces with this, and I should honestly consider myself lucky. A serpentine belt, an oil leak, it's not that bad. The engine still runs fine, and it made it through 2 track days relatively unscathed. I just really hate working on this thing. And now that I've done those 2 track days, I gotta deal with this. That was supposed to show the motor mounts being bad. It didn't actually show it that well, but they need to be replaced. Badly. So, I don't really know what I'm gonna do with this thing. I'd be crazy if I hadn't already thought about selling it. And trust me, I have thought about selling it. It would be nice to rid my life of this stress. But I know me, and I know that if I get rid of this nightmare, I'm probably just gonna replace it with another nightmare, which could be fun. But I do think this is almost at the point of reliability. It's just not quite there. We're ironing out the issues. And I do still like this car. Just sometimes it sucks. It does suck to work on. Nothing will change that. And it has its problems. It has its unreliability. But it's still, I don't know, it's still fun. It's mine. I did what I wanted with this car. I got it back up and running. I made a video that you guys liked way more than I thought you would, which was awesome. I really appreciate that. But that also kind of puts me in a position where I can't just go up and get rid of the car, because clearly people want to see more of it. So for now, I'll hang on to the car for a little while, at least until I find another good deal that just needs a transmission. Maybe I should revisit the idea of a different engine for this platform, or maybe I should just stop getting old Audis. That would probably be the most logical decision. Anyway, thank you guys for all the support on this new series. It was a ton of work, and all the positive feedback makes it 100% worth it. So thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time.